was given the beautiful opportunity by the Bronx Children's Museum to cover the private event of the Yankees mural unveiling, and I was super happy about it.
And also supporting our journey as the first children's museum in the Bronx. Can I get a year? Yeah. In the Bronx, come on.
I want to give a big thank you to the Bronx Children's Museum. With them, I feel seen, understood, and supported. And that's what it's all about when we say we want to give back to the community. All right, guys, today we have here, can you please say your name?
Edwin Jackson.
Now, so nice to meet you, Mr. Edwin Jackson. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good today myself. Now, how does it feel looking at these murals?
It's amazing, to be able to honor the greats for the city, to be able to be right here in front of the Bronx Children's Museum. It's a great honor for us to be able to have something that's going to be a staple of the community, and also let these guys know that we appreciate everything they're doing.
Yes. Now, let me ask you, when you play on the field, how are you able to maintain your physical, mental, and spiritual health?
Oh, a lot of it is, you have to have a great team around you first, because there's going to be things in the game that's not going to go your way. You have to be mentally strong, because 70% of the game is mental, 30% is physical, and you have to have the confidence to go out every day and know that you can be the best of the best when you play and go amongst the best of the best.
Yes. Now let me ask you, have you ever faced any racial inequalities? And if so, how are you able to fight back against it?
In a game where we are the minority, every day is something to come up where we face a racial inequality. And at the end of the day, you have to stay strong. You got to know what you believe in, and you have to, know that's another point where that team around you comes in play, because it's going to be days where you go home and it's going to be something that happened that you want to react, and sometimes you have to take a step back and understand that you are a professional and handle things in a professional manner, but at the same time, not getting lost in who you are as a person and not selling your soul to become somebody that you aren't, to adjust for somebody else. And so it's a fine line that you have to walk between, but at the end of the day, you just got to know who you are and be confident in yourself and know that you can go out and you can do whatever you want to do.
And that's a very beautiful factor too, so thank you so much for that note. Now let me ask you, being a professional and all, what's the first thing that you think about doing when it comes to entrepreneurship when you get your paycheck?
For me, it's about giving back. My grandma always told me a closed hand can never get fed, and it can never give out blessings. So I'm a big fan of, it takes giving blessings to receive blessings. And I'm giving not to expect anything in return, but I give in hopes that the blessings will be returned to me. So if I don't give back to the community, then I'm not doing my job as a professional, and I'm not doing my job as a man of the community.
Now, one last question. What advice would you give to anyone that wants to become a baseball star?
Work hard. Don't be afraid of failure, because it is a game of failure. And don't lose confidence. Never forget who you are as a person.
Thank you so much for that.
And get them grades. Get them grades for y'all kids. Get them grades, too.
Note that. Thank you so much. And until next time on Summertime.
What's your name?
Samara. How does it feel to see the mural of you guys, and what do you think about it?
No, I think it's pretty cool to have a chance to see a mural here in the Bronx. To be honored with Judge and, Reggie Jackson, Dave Winfield, some of my heroes. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Now let me ask you, playing on the field, how are you able to maintain your physical, mental, and spiritual health?
A lot to do with my family. I have 4 kids, my wife. They had a lot to do with, making sure that I was sane every time I went out there. So it's a lot that goes into ball players, making sure that their mental health is good. And if you have a strong family, it makes it easier.
Now, have you ever faced any racial inequalities within the game? And if so, how were you able to push back against it?
Oh, yeah, baseball is full of that. This sport is one of the ones that, is kind of not for us. So to be able to have a mural out here celebrating us, in those Yankee uniforms is always cool. There's been plenty. I will be here talking for hours if I had to go through them all. But, the reason why we started the Players Alliance, the reason why we all do things like this is because of those things.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good thing that you're able to do that, so that the young kids, especially black kids that come after you guys, are able to see that there's a place for us, there's something that we could do. So thank you so much for that. Until next time on Summertime. All right, guys, today we're here with
Willie Randolph, former captain of the Yankees.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Now let me ask you, what was it like being the captain of the Yankees?
Well, it was a tremendous honor. There's only been like 7 captains in Yankee history. I was the first black captain, and just to be able to bestow that honor of leadership to my teammates was really, really special.
Yes. And you being the first black person to be able to do that, that's a beautiful thing. And that lets people like us know that we can do anything, whatever space that we're in. So thank you for that.
Well, an inspiration is what we all look for. I was inspired when I was a young kid, your age, with guys that taught me how to play the game. And so it's a blessing for me to be able to pass that on to the kids of today. So being a part of a legacy and being part of giving back to the youth. I grew up in New York, so I remember in the Sandlots how I used to play baseball. So now when I see the kids come out and play, it brings me a lot of joy because they're trying to emulate me and Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter. So to be a part of that affiliation is really cool.
Yes. Have you faced any racial discrimination, and how were you able to fight back against it?
Well, I have. Early in my career, I managed the Mets back in 2005 to 2008. And prior to that, I went to like almost 10 interviews where I know they weren't totally legit, So I thought they were kind of playing in the little race thing there where they weren't giving us opportunities. So it's important to have diversity in any walk of life. When I finally got my shot, I was successful, and I'm very proud of that. But, nothing like Jackie Robinson, nothing like some of the guys that came before me as far as the race issue. But, we live in a world that it still exists. So you have to be on top of your game. You got to be prepared. You have to love what you do and prepare yourself to do the best you can. But hopefully we're getting past that. And with the Players Alliance, hopefully that's going to get us to the next level where, we get into the pipeline and we start seeing how, if you get an opportunity that we will and can succeed.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing too. What was it like looking at the mural for you, and how were you feeling?
It was kind of surreal, really. I didn't know what to expect, but the young artist did a great job, and I just got goosebumps because now I can bring my grandchildren back. I got a granddaughter probably around your age, and she's going to love it. And like, Grandpa, that you? That you, Grandpa? That's you up there? So that is what's special for me, is that I get a chance to share this with my family and friends and be able to inspire my granddaughters or whatever. So I can't wait to bring them back here. We go to a lot of Yankee games, so we'll just make a little U-turn and come down here, and it's going to be special.
Yes. When you were playing, what were some of the things that you faced, and how were you able to maintain your physical, mental, and spiritual health?
Well, I had a wife. Well, I have a wife who we got married really young, and she took care of me. I mean, as far as nutrition, making sure that I got the proper nutrition and eating well, proper rest, and just being there for me, just being able to nurture and have my back is so important. And I was a young player. I came to the big leagues. I was 21 years old, so I was a baby, yes. So I needed that solidarity with my family, and especially my wife, and she did a great job of preparing me every day, taking care of the children when I was out working and everything, and doing my job. So it takes a family, and it takes a strong woman to be a big part of our success. It was for my wife Gretchen, and we grew up childhood sweethearts too. We grew up together in Brownsville, Brooklyn. It wasn't for her, I wouldn't be as successful as I've been.
Oh, wow. Well, shout out to her, and shout out to all the women that have been able to help our beautiful baseball people to be able to keep on and do what they do best.
That's right. And I'm proud of you. You're going to be a star, believe me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
All right.
So how were you able to balance the stress that you faced on the field, especially when the crowd, the people, and the coaches and your own teammates were counting on you? Yeah,
well, I grew up playing against a lot of older guys. So at a young age, I learned to be confident and believe in my ability. To me, it goes back to preparation and being able to prepare. When you prepare and you're ready for a game, then I don't feel nervous because I know I did the work, I put the time in. So when I'm on the field, I'm more relaxed because I know that there was no stone unturned. I think that you get nervous when you don't prepare yourself, when you don't have confidence in yourself, which is very important. Be confident in your ability. A lot of competition out there. A lot of people might be better than you, but if you compete every day, you'll get better and better and better. So I always believe in preparation, belief in your ability, and just go out and have fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's the best thing, having fun and being able to prepare whilst having fun.
There you go. That's right.
Now, what are 2 fun facts about you that few people know?
Wow, that I love to laugh. I'm a little crazy. I love to joke. I'm a practical joker. People will tell you that. And I love music. I love, especially jazz music. I love relaxing, listening to music, and then just having a good time. I mean, I got 3 beautiful granddaughters, and they keep me hopping, and I like acting silly with them. So I'm just a fun guy.
For the music part, I can relate to because my whole family loves music, especially me and my younger brothers. Like,
Yes.
ask him anything about any music that he knows, he would spew it out as much as he can. So, shout out to them. Shout out to my mom and dad. And shout out to you.
Oh, no, you are the one that I'm shouting out about because I'm
Thank
telling you,
you.
you've done a great job, and I can just see you really, like I said, blossoming into whatever you want to be.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. But I'm going to give you your flowers because you've been able to pave the way for some of the most famous baseball players, and they looked up to you. Now, let me ask you, how does it feel being the person that a lot of people looked up to and the reason why some of them are playing?
You know, it's a humbling experience. It really is because I don't see myself as that. I'm just an everyday guy, just everyday people. So it feels good, you know, when you're acknowledged by people and they respect what you do and that you ultimately leave an impression on them. I think it's important that we all leave a good impression on people, sign an autograph, say hi, how you doing, you know, give them time, you know, because if you don't, that can leave a bad impression on them. And you don't want them to walk away feeling like you don't care. So what I try to do is make time, and if I can do something, anything, could be little things, to inspire someone or make them feel good about themselves, then it's a blessing for me, not just for them.
Now, when you first started baseball and when you got your first paycheck, what was the first thing that you imagined doing?
I tell you what I did is that first of all I thought I was rich, and it wasn't, and it wasn't a lot of money, okay. But I bought my mom and dad a color TV set, okay. At the time we had this little old thing that didn't hardly work. I went out and bought myself a nice suit because if I got dressed up and went to church, I wanted to look good, and then put the rest in the bank and hope that I would draw a lot of interest really quick, you know. But I just remember I signed for. Out of high school, and I think I got a $5,000 signing bonus. $5,000. Now, to me, that was a lot back then. It really wasn't, but anyway, for me it was, okay? But nowadays, these guys are getting like $1 million bonuses and stuff like that. So at the time, it was good for me. I was grateful for it, but I was able to share that with my family and buy them something that they like. Because my mom and dad taught me the ropes. They, you know, took care of me. So that was my way of, in certain way of giving back. And then later on, when I started to make some real money, I bought them a house, so that was even more special, whatever.
Giving back to your family, that's important too.
Yes.
And the reason why I asked that is because I've been able to learn a little bit about finance. And really quick, I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Angelica Alam for being able to teach us at Grow, Lead, Inspire. And one of the things that I've learned was about paying yourself. After taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of, paying yourself. So looking back at everything that you've been able to do financially, what is one thing that you would have told your younger self when you first got that paycheck?
Oh, that's an excellent question. All these questions are excellent, you know. But
Thank you.
but I just, you know, be smart with your money, okay? Everyone likes nice things. You want to be able to share things with your friends, buy gifts or whatever. But you have to prepare for the future. Enjoy yourself while you can, but always put something away so if you need it in a tough pinch, you'll have it there. So, you know, enjoy it, but just don't be over extravagant because it's just material things, you know. I think it's more important to prepare yourself for college, prepare yourself for the future if you have a family. So those little things like that most people don't think about. I mean, cars are nice, jewelry's nice, but that's all perishable. That's all can go by. But having a solid foundation of legacy and being able to put money away for future endeavors is smart in some ways. Again, I'm not a financial wizard, but I wished I would have just understood that material things are really not that important and that I probably waste a lot of money on stuff I didn't need.
Well, that's weird for you guys, so I hope you keep that in mind. But thank you so much. I've definitely laughed, and I had a good time, so thank you so much for this interview.
My pleasure. You were awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Curtis Granderson. You know, what's so cool about having the mural here is that these players are alive to see it, to see their reaction of it. And then the number of young kids that are in this area get not only to see the mural, but saw the people in the mural.
Yes.
And as you start to go down the line, you have the Hall of Famers such as Dave Winfield, Reggie Jackson, Derek Jeter, who were watched by CeCe Sabathia, who was watched by Aaron Judge, who's watched by these kids. So that pipeline of fans, people wanting to be in the game, it's all a part of what we were able to do to get this mural out there.
Yes. Let me ask you, the Players Alliance, how was it first started, and what were some of the challenges it faced, and how did it prevail?
Well, it started in 2020 on the heels of the, oh gosh, why am I thinking, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Let me read through that again. Started in 2020 in the middle of COVID. Everything shut down, baseball's not happening. And as we're coming together collectively as a group, these had been conversations we had had prior to from some of these greats that are on the wall, such as Dave Winfield helping lead the charge before, saying, how do we provide more opportunities in our game for people of color? Whether you're playing the game, whether you're working in the game, whether you're a part of the game. But it was COVID. We weren't able to move around in the way that we wanted to, but that challenge also became a positive because we were able to Zoom. We were able to stay connected. We were able to continue to follow up. Officially started the nonprofit, started getting out in the community, helping out with COVID supplies, food for food insecurity, and providing a lot of kids with their first baseball and softball equipment. That was our first initiative in 2020. Fast forward to where we are now, we have a partnership with Major League Baseball, the Players Association, and we've been able to go not only domestically, but internationally, getting some players signed already to professional baseball.
All right, so when you say internationally, can you expand on that a little? Because although I'm originally from the Bronx here, I relocated to Ghana, West Africa at a young age. Since then, I've been able to do this amazing stuff.
So our international countries so far have been Canada and the Bahamas. And as we've gone out there, and two of the players from the Bahamas that we highlighted a showcase camp this past winter are now playing professional baseball with affiliate teams. We're hoping to look to continue to grow, but as we continue to do that, we also want to not forget our roots here. We have 13 focus cities. Those focus cities were selected specifically because there's no major league cities in those cities, but there's a pipeline of black talent being played in those cities. So we want to make sure they get as many eyeballs on them as everybody else.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, let me ask you, what are two fun facts about you that nobody knows?
Two fun facts about me that nobody knows. Let's see, that nobody knows. So, Chicago is home for me. And if I had to pick between Chicago style pizza and New York style pizza, I'm going to go Chicago style. Only reason being, I like the taste of New York style, but I don't like it to go flip. Like, I don't want to fold my pizza and do all that stuff. I wanted to add a little bit of crispy crust and go for that. So, one of my favorite New York style pizzas is artichoke pizza because the crust has a little crisp. So, that's one. Second one, I would say, don't let the height fool you, but I mentally thought I was going to be a basketball player. I wanted to play basketball a lot in addition to playing baseball, in addition to bowling, in addition to running track, in addition to running cross country. And as I started to move up the ranks, I started to realize, okay, baseball is the one for me. And I loved all of them just as much. But being in Chicago, where Michael Jordan was winning championships after championships, I wanted to be like Mike. But I also wanted to be like King Griffey Jr., one of my favorite baseball players. He had his own video game. He wore his hat backwards. He's the reason, and the second fact, why I swing a black baseball bat. Ken Griffey Jr. had a black baseball bat. I swung a black baseball bat.
Wow, that's inspiration. And who would ever know that you wanted to do so many different things? I mean, when you were running down the list to me, I was like, wow, that's a lot. So
The cool thing about it is you try them all out because you never know which one is going to be the one that is going to be the one you succeed at.
Yes.
But if you enjoy it, continue to keep after it because when we're having fun, that's the things we want to do. And as we improve at it, we start to have more fun with it because we're getting better at it. So that's always the way I wanted to go about it. And if I got to a point where I said, this is it for me, then I started to peel that one off and peel that one off. So I always highlight, be as involved in as many activities as possible. All those athletes that were on that wall played multiple sports. Aaron Judge played basketball and football. CeCe had football scholarships. Dave Winfield said he could still dunk a basketball at the age of 54. So just to show how just athletically talented and gifted these individuals are, but it all played into them ultimately becoming the best baseball player. So do it all. If you're in journalism, if you want to play the piano, if you want to dance, if you want to ski, if you want to jump rope, try them all. It's all going to help you be to where you want to get to.
I hope you guys took a note of that. That's very important. Now, let me ask you one last question. Now, like I said before, I live in the continent of Africa, Ghana to be specific. I want to know if I can teach you two words.
All right, let's do it.
Akwaba, which means welcome,
Aquaba,
and Midasi, which means thank you.
Madasi.
Madasi.
Madasi, which means thank you.
Yes.
And that's cool because I've been around Africa, but not to Ghana yet. I've been to South Africa, I've been to Morocco. So I got to continue to keep adding more and more to the list.
Yeah, you gotta come to Ghana. Where you gonna go?
Next on my list, I always follow the food. So if we say the food is the best and top notch in Ghana, that's where I'm headed to next.
Well, luckily for you, it is.
Okay, so I got to ask you a question in return. What's my first dish I should get when I get to Ghana?
So that depends on the type of person you are, whether you like spicy food a lot, like whether you like soups.
I can do it all. I'm not picky. Give me a spicy one, give me a soup, since you mentioned those two.
All right, so spicy one, I'm gonna say with what everybody likes, jollof.
Jollof.
But that also depends because sometimes it could be on the milder side, sometimes it could be on the spicier side.
Okay,
So
I'll do a little bit of both. So I
it
got
depends.
2 orders of jollof, some mild and spicy. Now, what about my soup?
For the soup, you have light soup.
Okay. All right, so we'll start with the light soup or end with the light soup?
I'd say in with the light soup.
Okay, in with the light soup. I like it. And then outside of you doing this, I also need you to be my tour guide when I go to Ghana.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You guys hold me to it, okay? Hold me to it. Just kidding. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Forgive me guys for that Altoid in my mouth, but I'm super excited about today. Today is the day for the Bronx Children's Museum's Gala. I honestly feel so happy to be here again for the second time after covering it the first time, and it was super fun for me. So honestly, I can't wait to see what this experience is going to be like today. Come with me, let's find out.
Now, how many of y'all are proud to be celebrating the Bronx in the Bronx Children's Museum tonight? I love that. Thank you so much, guys.
How do you hope that the mural in tonight's event will inspire the next generation of young athletes and artists in the Bronx and beyond?
I think there's a number of ways. One is just seeing that stuff that wasn't there and talking about it and getting a group and getting a team together to actually see it coming together. And if there it is, that gives you hope going, okay, the things that I talk about and think about really can't happen. But I have to have a good team of support next to me. You know, I got a chance to play with Edwin. I got a chance to play with Cece. Together, we all have gone out to do things. The board that's been mentioned, the community that's been mentioned, the dreams and the hopes that were talked about with the museum, the fact that there was not one and now there is one, the fact that maybe no one in my family has gone to college, I could be the first one. Maybe I'll be the first one to graduate high school. I'll be the next Bronx legend to play for the Pinstripes and be out there. Can my number retire? Maybe I get a mural on the wall. So for all that, it's just inspiring to see that this was not there. And to Cashman's point, look at how far we're going. It's all still possible because I'm seeing it happen right in front of my eyes.
Mr. Cashman, my question to you is, what advice would you give to a young child like me who wants to become a general manager of the Yankees?
You can have it. So honestly, I started, people don't know my story. I started as an intern back in the day, back in 1986. And, I didn't know, where, I never had a dream of becoming the general manager of the Yankees. I just wanted to, be a part of baseball in any way, shape, or form I could, and never thought that was an opportunity or something like that. So what I do tell, younger people is that you never know, we all need sponsors, you never know who's watching you do what you do while you're doing it. So I'll repeat that, you never know who's watching you do what you do while you're doing it. What do I mean by that? So when you're going about your day, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's, in summer camp, or whether you have a small job or what have you, just do it the best you possibly can, right? Hard work, play well with others. My job is to be putting together a team of players, for instance, that can go out and compete for a championship. So they have to have talent, and the only way to get talent is to work hard at it. I want them to get along, because being good teammates creates great chemistry and elevates everybody in the room. And then you take a chance. And so when I go back to that, you never know who's watching you do what you do while you're doing it. That's my story. I had an opportunity to do an internship. I did everything and anything they asked without complaint. And all of a sudden, I started getting these mentors, these sponsors that kind of noticed me, liked me, said this kid, he does everything we want, he doesn't complain, He'd bust his butt, and all of a sudden they're like, I want that guy on my team. And next thing you know, they start giving you a little bit more responsibility and elevate you. And so all of that trickles down into, youth. Basically, work hard, play well with each other. And I'm telling you, a little bit like a surfing analogy, even though we're in the Bronx, is that, then these waves come in, and you get the chance every now and then to ride one of those waves, and you have no idea where it's going to take you, and that's life. But you're going to be in a much better place, I think, if you, apply those simple, things I just spoke to, and you'll be surprised who's going to sponsor you along the way, who's going to pick you to be a part of their team and give you opportunities. And so.
A reporter, we invited her to come and be MC. It was one of the skill sets you're going to learn. And then we invited her back this year as a second investment in her development to be the person in the community. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Samara, for a wonderful conversation.
All right, guys, we're here at the Bronx Children's Museum's Under the Stars Sneaker Ball, and I'm here with Mr. Curtis. How you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm really good, especially seeing you again after unveiling the murals that day. That was beautiful.
It's so cool. Anytime we get a chance to do something great and come back and honor it again and acknowledge it and get the chance to see you again.
Yeah,
definitely
that's
great.
Beautiful. And let me ask you, now for the cameras, what sneakers are you wearing tonight?
So I got some New Balance 550s on, trying to represent as I get up in age. I got the grays on top and the grays on the bottom. But we are doing our thing out there, keeping it comfortable for us.
All right. Now if you had to choose to wear one pair of sneakers for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
Actually, I'm a big New Balance 574 guy, so that's been my jam. I can wear it with shorts, I can wear it with jeans. Maybe the next sneaker ball I might do it with that. But the 574 New Balance, that's been my one.
For me, I think one of my favorites would be the Jordan 11s.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to have a pair, and they were like really nice, and I got so many compliments, and I could do whatever I needed to do. I grew out of it because my feet got too big, so I gifted it to my brother. But every now and then I look at it and I'm like, you better be lucky that you got a sister that will be giving this stuff to you.
But that's how you gotta do it. It always is a pass down. Once you outgrow, we gotta keep it in the family, get it on to the next one. So that's good.
Now, what do you love about the Bronx Children's Museum?
The thing I love about the Bronx Children's Museum is the proximity in the community, getting a chance to be a place to play, to learn, get introduced to new different things. As I'm watching some of the videos unfold today, I hadn't seen all the exhibits today, but the fact that they had animals in there, you think of the zoo, you think of the aquarium, but at the Children's Museum, they're also exposing a lot of the kids to things like that. So you just never know what you're going to see when you finally get a chance to go there, and it's in your backyard, which is a great thing.
Do you have a favorite moment that happened today at the gala?
My favorite moment here at the gala, I think, was probably, wow, there's so many different moments. I think the fact that everyone came in with all their different sneakers on. This is my first ever sneaker ball attending. I've seen them, but actually attending. So the fact that I came in with the suit, got my New Balances to match, my 550s, and we're out here doing it. So I think that's probably it.
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you again. Always great to see you.
Always great to see you too. Until next time on Summertime. All right, guys, still here at the Bronx Children's Museum's Under the Stars Sneaker Ball, and I'm here with the beautiful Bronx Borough President, Miss Vanessa.
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. Anytime we can celebrate the children of the Bronx, I'm always feeling good.
And speaking of the children of the Bronx, let's get into why you even wanted to become the Bronx Borough President.
So I served for 8 years in the city council. I was term limited out of office, and I knew that God was not finished with me yet and had a greater assignment. And I thought about the borough president's seat, which was also becoming vacant. And I said, let me take a chance. And I ran a campaign. I raised over $1 million, and I got an incredible coalition to support our message, our vision. I was a prior assembly member and council member. I had a record to stand on, and I'm so grateful that I won, and the voters made me serve as the 14th borough president, the first ever African American and the first female. And I'm grateful because every day I wake up on purpose with a purpose, and I think I have the greatest assignment in life, and that's to represent the Boogie Down Bronx.
Yes. Now, have you faced any challenges or obstacles during your journey, and how have you been able to overcome it?
That's an everyday struggle. I faced challenges running for office because people felt that because I was an African American and a woman that I could not win. They didn't think that people would support me, people from the Latino community and other communities, and they did overwhelmingly. And then also, I think women of color always struggle. When you step into positions where you're a first, you have to set the standard really high. And while you're the first, you should not be the last. And I am absolutely adamant and intentional about doing this work because the voters of the Bronx deserve everything. The children of the Bronx deserve everything. And I always want to make sure that our children can look at leaders and see themselves. You cannot be what you cannot see.
Yes.
And if young people can look and see all of us, they can see their hopes, their dreams, and all of their aspirations.
Yes. Now, what does the word community mean to you? And how do you think that the Bronx can become a beautiful community for Bronxites to live in and thrive in?
Yes. So when I think of the word community, obviously I think of unity, I think of fellowship, I think of partnership, I think of collective responsibility. I think of everyone working together for the same priorities because we want the same. We may come from different places and spaces, but we truly want the same when it comes to our children, our families, our seniors, our veterans, people with disabilities, marginalized communities, immigrant communities. We all want the same. And I think that as a collective, people need to understand that they have power. You don't need a title in front of your name to care about your community. You can adopt your block, your park, you can do a cleanup. If your neighborhood's not clean, you can find ways to get involved, joining your community board, attending your precinct council. You can find so many ways to volunteer. I was an intern, and that's how I got my start in public service. So you can find ways to open doors and know that those doors can lead to even greater heights.
Yes. Now, for the Bronx Children's Museum's Gala,
Yes.
what do you love about this event?
I love, number one, that we can dress in our gowns and fancy wear, and we can wear sneakers.
Yes.
I am so done with heels. And I think that it's also an opportunity to get together and really celebrate the Bronx Children's Museum. I was a part of that 18-year journey when Hope Harley and Carla and so many others had this idea and went to then Borough President Adolfo Carrion at the time and gave him the idea. He started funding, his successor, Ruben Diaz Jr., and now me as Borough President. I funded the mobile bus of the Bronx Children's Museum, working with Sonia Manzano from Sesame Street and making sure that we talked about the High Bridge, we talked about the Harlem River, we talked about parents and children, and we created this space of recreation, of culture, of education, because the children of the Bronx never had its own museum. And finally we got it, and now it's 3 days a week. We want to expand. I told Denise Rosario, let's not even aim for 5, let's go for 7, so that it can be open every single day, because we respect people's cultural diversity. So we know that Saturday is Sabbath for many, and Sunday is Sabbath. So people may not be able to bring their families out on the weekends. And then during Monday to Friday, during the weekday, kids are in school. So we have made such great progress with this museum, and it's really been a hands-on deck, a labor of love, from the assembly members, senators, the speaker of the city council, the speaker of the assembly, from the governor to the mayor, myself. We've done a lot to pour into the museum because we believe in what the museum stands for, but most importantly, we believe in the children of the Bronx.
Yes, and that's a very beautiful thing. And I agree with you about the sneakers. I mean, I've never wore heels a day in my life, but I can tell that they could be pretty uncomfortable. And my mom says, well, look, once you get to a certain age, you can never wear it again.
Yes, that's true.
For me, I'm sticking to my sneakers for life. I love sneakers, so being able to have a sneaker ball is beautiful for me, because I'm always about wearing dresses with sneakers. It represents my culture as also being a Bronxite.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and continue to shine as a young person, and know that you are our future, and everything we do is about investing in you and giving you access and opportunity. And I want so many of our young people to see the possibilities, to know that guess what? No matter what, your block doesn't block your blessing, and your zip code doesn't deny your destiny. Every setback is preparation for a comeback. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I say all of these things at graduations because I want young people to see beyond their neighborhood, to see that you can be successful. We have incredible icons and pioneers, the birthplace of hip-hop, the home of salsa, right in the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx. When people counted us out, we have to count ourselves in as winners because we represent greatness. We have our own children's museum. We are the greenest borough with Pelham Bay Park. We are a borough of opportunities. We are a global destination. We have millions of visitors that come to the Bronx every day. Whether it's a Yankee game, the Bronx Zoo, Botanical Garden, Wave Hill, Pregones Theater, Ghetto Film School, Bronx River Alliance, Bronx Council of the Arts, Bronx Arts Ensemble. I can go on and on. These are our cultural organizations that people visit. The Bronx Museum, now the Bronx Children's Museum. My hope is that the Bronx Children's Museum will be open 7 days fully, and most importantly, that admission will be free because we have to get enough sponsorship to make sure that it's free. We expand on staff. We have more school partnerships like we already do today. And Denise Rosario, Aduse, and her team are focused on education, early child care, culture, education, and everything that matters when it comes to our children and families. That is my hope, and I'm speaking it into existence.
Yes. Now, just before you leave, I'd like to teach you 2 words from Ghana, West Africa. Akwaba, which means welcome.
Akwaba.
And Medasi, which means thank you. Now, there's actually some Bronxites that are there in Ghana. So if you ever make a trip there, I'd love for you to come because it's a beautiful place.
I love it. Listen, the only word I know how to say is Etisen.
All right. And here's how you reply. Whenever someone asks you Etisen, you say Mehuye.
Etisen.
Mehuye.
Mehuye.
Yes.
Nice. I like it. Okay, I love it. I love it.
You're learning.
I'm learning. Yes. I have lots of friends from Ghana.
All right.
Ghana, yes. And they all speak Tree. And then I have friends from Nigeria that speak Hausa.
Yes. There's Hausa.
I love it.
There's so many. There's Igbo.
Yes.
And then there's Yoruba.
I have a staffer on our team that's from the Ivory Coast. So he has been introducing me to our African leaders. I have a Muslim leaders roundtable. I have an African advisory council. So I work with our imams. I go to masjids. I celebrate Eid. I celebrate Ramadan. I do an iftar event. I'm very, very connected with the African community and the Muslim and Christian community.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing.
I'm Vanessa Gibson, Bronx Borough President, and I'm right on time for summertime.